right, and I'm live. So, welcome to another stream. Today, the plan is to continue on with our, I need to update this because the node version keeps resetting for some reason, or it's not being used anyway. The plan for today is to continue work on the inventory app that we were working on for the past couple of streams. And today the main item that we're going to be tackling is the store inventory editor. So right now I did a little bit of work off stream yesterday, just getting this page ready to go. So it just, all it does is it lists the products, all the products that are in the, actually I should probably add another product just for an example. So let's just say, what are the categories here? Let's just say, I don't know. Can't come up with something like for kitchen and or health and wellness. Let's say, I don't know, Band-Aids. Okay. They help when you cut yourself. I don't know. I was thinking of something. Okay, it doesn't really matter. Accidentally cut yourself, I should say. Okay, cool. So we have Band-Aids as another product category. Okay. Okay, so now we have that. I don't know why I thought of that, because there's a box of Band-Aids on the counter because I accidentally nicked my finger when I was cooking the other night with onions. So that's why I thought of that. Anyway, so I have this product, right, which is fine. I didn't really need to do that, but now the inventory should show all of them. Yep. So the idea is this update inventory page will essentially take into account the current inventory, and then essentially check the, like, so to add or remove an item, it'll check or uncheck, you know, it'll fill in the form depending on what, it'll populate the form rows that already, you know, exist in the inventory, and then it'll leave the non-inventory items unchecked with a default amount of 1. So that the idea is you can modify what your inventory looks like as a whole with all the products, and then save it, and then return to the store page, and then it modifies the inventory based on how you update it here. Instead of having a separate route for, or separate, you know, logic or separate page workflow, whatever you would want to say, for adding and removing content. Okay, so let's get started on this. So all we're doing right now is we're putting in all the products, right? So this is our function so far: update inventory get. I'm also going to open my notes and bring them over to my other screen so I can have them. I accidentally just kind of leaked what I'm working on, but it's not a big deal. But I have a new video in the works. So, you know, stay tuned for that. Okay, where is this? Here we go. So I need to edit my notes a little bit here. So, yeah, okay. What do we need to remove? Update inventory, get and post. I don't need a delete inventory product ID either, I don't think, because I'm going to handle that in this route. And then products ID delete. Yeah, delete a product and store. Okay, that's fine. So we just need to remove that one route, basically. So, okay, so right now we're only giving it all the products, but we're not actually taking into account any of the inventory data. So let's connect to the local database, and then let's query the inventory right now. So you can see that Costco has a banana, an avocado, and a MacBook Pro. Okay, and I just came up with Costco. I don't know. I could rename it to something else. That's the other thing I should probably do is have renameable products and stores, but that's I can add that later. Anyway, so we have those entries here, which are reflected on this page. And then essentially what we want to do is we want to pass this data to the update inventory view so that we can render the form rows or the form sections accordingly. But first, I think I'm just going to get the main layout done, the main layout ready to go. So I'm going to say form or products item, or you can say like inventory product. I don't know. Something like this, right? Okay, so we have the product name there, and then we're also going to need a label for the, we're going to include the ID. So we're going to say products.id, and then dash add, okay? Or I guess I could just in inventory. Just say in inventory. And then I'm going to attach this to a checkbox that has the ID, the dynamic ID here. Okay, just do it like this. And then the name that is also the same. Just clean this up a little. Actually, it doesn't really matter. Okay. We have that checkbox, and then I need an amount, right? It's going to be the same idea, but just amount. Oh, and then I need to actually put this. I don't know what to say this. In inventory. Or keep in inventory, maybe. I don't know, put in inventory. Or include, I'll just say include. And then products. Amount. And then input. Type is number. The value default will be 1. I need an ID as well. Value is 1, and I'm also going to do this. And the min is also 1. But we're actually going to inherit, we're going to modify this value when we actually include the inventory data, right? So this is temporary, but that will be changed. Okay. So now we should get a form, right? That's good. Okay, so you know what I'm going to do just for clarity? I'm just going to put a... maybe put these in their own rows. Okay. So now they're on different There we go. That's a little better. I don't like how I need to add a space here. Maybe also put the text for this. Well, it wouldn't be for the inventory, would it? No. So if I include this like this, I want to have the checkboxes on the other side. So I can do that, other side of the text rather. So I can do that like this, I believe. And then that should flip them. Yeah, perfect. Maybe add another space. Go. All right. So there we go. So that's something like this, right? And then we also need a submit button, right? I think this is the right level. So button, and then type is submit, and then I'm gonna say update inventory, or save updates, save inventory maybe. And then I'm gonna do a confirm as well in here, I think, because I did that in another one of these. Yeah, it was this. I'm going to do an on click. Confirm. Are you sure you want to delete? Sorry, not delete. Are you sure you want to make these changes? Something like this, right? And then, yeah, so we can't post because there's no post. Obviously, there's no post route yet. So what I'm actually thinking of doing here is, I might just add a break so that there's a little space. Okay. So what I'm actually thinking of doing here is essentially just deleting all this. Is kind of like probably not the best approach, but for to do this all in kind of one function, I think what I'm gonna do, and this may be overkill and cause performance bottlenecks for you know, larger apps, but I think for this one specifically, what I'm gonna do is just outright delete all of the inventory entries by the store, whatever the store is, right? And then just rewrite all of the ones in the inventory. So if you want to delete everything from the inventory, you can just kind of like, you know, just uncheck all of these boxes, right? And then that'll essentially wipe everything in the inventory. Yo, how's it going, programmers? Welcome. I feel like you're new here, but it's nice to meet you. Unless you've been here before and are first time chatter. Okay, so that's good. And then yeah, I'm glad you're doing well. Okay. So let me think what I need to do here. So do I want to write the queries first or change the, okay, so the first thing I need to do is actually pass the inventory data to this view, right? So we need to essentially, I think we already have a query written, but I think we need a query for, yeah, getting the store inventory like for a specific store. So we need to run this query, right? And we need to do that before we run this. So we need to do const store inventory, or store inventory. I'll say inventory actually. And then this will be an inventory type. I don't think there's any other types, right? No. And then I'll just await that get store inventory of the store.id. And then I'll also pass this to the renderer. Okay. And then now what I need to do is I need to somehow check if the product ID matches the inventory.product ID. Or yeah. I need to figure that. I need to get that information. So I'm just thinking about how I do that actually. I'm addicted to programming. Is there any way out? I'm afraid not. I'm afraid there isn't. You're stuck here. Now, I could do a nested loop. I'm just trying to think about... So let's open up the Pug documentation again. Because I think there is... We might have to do a... we might have to do some sort... Because basically what we need to do is we need to have logic that can check whether... We need to basically grab a specific inventory item. I'm just trying to think about how to do that. The other option is we could... This is kind of tricky. So I don't think I can like run external functions inside of. Can I? I'm looking, I'm kind of going off the rails a little bit here. Okay. Yeah, that's for sections. So basically what we need to do is extends and block. Yeah, that's not what we need to do. We need to basically check whether or not a product is inside of the store inventory. Now, there's two ways of doing this. Build an HTTP. Oh, yeah. That'll get you skilled. I honestly don't even, I wouldn't even know where to start. Because I'm in like abstraction hell right now, right? So the other option is to essentially take a difference of these two sets. So if we think, I know they're arrays, but you can think of them as sets. So we have all the products and the products that are in the inventory, and then what we could do is we could take a difference of the sets, and then we could create an array of items in the inventory. And then an array of items, or products I should say, that are not in the inventory, and then kind of just pass them both, and then iterate through them one at a time. Which is kind of not the best. I don't love that approach, but I mean, it is something. Let's just toss more abstraction on top of more abstraction until it makes sense. Yeah, exactly. Bro, what? What do you mean? What's up, Clasher? So I'm thinking maybe that's the best approach. I'm not sure, because I don't know if I can actually include... I'm also, for reference, guys, I'm using a fairly old HTML templating engine that's not really used anymore, I don't think. But I'm using it purely because it does what I need it to, and it's for learning, right? Like, what is, like, when did this come out? Does it even say? Yeah, like, see, it has dates that are, like, 5 years old in here, right? Anyway, okay. I don't know, I'm just kind of, interpolation. Okay, this is string interpolation. I don't really need to know anything in here. Yeah, like coffee script. The other bad thing with the pug is that it's not type safe either. At least I don't think. Yeah, see, there's filters here. I don't really know. So this is actually maybe what we need, right? Filters let you use other languages and pug templates. They're a block of plain text. So this seems like a mess, though. Like I don't want to do this. I don't want to include JavaScript inside of the thing like that. That's just a mess. So what I think I'm going to do is, again, create those two different sets, right? So I'll say in inventory, and then what I'll do is I will oh, but they're not inventory type, right? But if you remember, an inventory type is just it's basically just the product type with because if we go to the product type, oh, I guess it doesn't really have a description or category ID, does it? It just has a product ID and store ID. Okay. But the not an inventory can just be a product type, and then we basically have to get a difference of products in inventory, right? So I can say all products. I'll just keep this like this for now. And then essentially what we want to do is we have to do a, and this is tricky because they're not the same type, right? So we have to iterate through all the products. And then we have to do an all products dot map, I think, right? And then product. And then I think we have to then map over this can get tricky pretty quick here. So then because I only need the inventory IDs, right? For this, the product IDs, I mean. Because essentially what we need to do is we need to check whether or not a certain product in the all products list is not contained in here, right? Now what we could do is I think I had another type in here, product inventory type. So what we could do is process this data, kind of thinking in real time here, apologies. Process this data and convert it into the product inventory type. So essentially what we can do is I think we can dot map this, right? And then inventory item, or just item, I guess. And then what we can do is we can say return, and then we can just construct a product inventory type, which includes, and the product inventory type includes everything that the product type includes with an amount, which is kind of what we want to give to our inventory updater, right? Again, this isn't really ideal, but this is the best way I can see to do it. And then the not in inventory will be the same idea. And then now the in inventory and not in inventory objects will be the same, or arrays will be the same type, right? So then we can return ID is item.id. And then like what are the, and then I'm going to say as product inventory type. Okay. And then so we have ID, what are the types here? ID name description. Wait, actually it'd be product ID, wouldn't it? Ooh, but I won't be able to get, now that I think of this, I actually won't be able to get the description and category name, will I? But these aren't really necessary. for the inventory, unless we want to filter by category, in which case they're kind of necessary. Because I don't think in our inventory schema, we're actually storing the category of the product, right? Although we can get that because we have that helper. Where's that helper? Categories, we can get name by ID. Fetch categories. Oh no, but that's just for category IDs. Okay, never mind. That actually won't help us. Yeah, this is kind of shitty. I don't know, I gotta think about this. Take a 5-minute break. I don't know why this water glass is dripping onto me. That's kind of stupid. But yeah, no, I don't know. You know, that's just the nature of the streams, right? Just problem solving live, figuring shit out, talking through it. It's not always smooth. I don't know what I'm doing, really. I'm just kind of, you know, winging it. I've been winging it for 98 days, almost at 100 days. Just kind of crazy. You know, so that's cool. But yeah. So I gotta think about how I want to approach this. There's got to be a better way. Because currently this I don't like much. Now we could probably solve part of our problem by modifying the inventory schema to store category ID. But that's kind of... do we even have a query to do that? Get category by ID. So you can get product by ID. Okay. Oh, we actually do have a query to get product by ID, but that's going to be very resource intensive if I do that. Because I could do something like this, right? I could do something like const products is, and I know this is on break, but I have this idea, so I wanna think this through. So I could do await, and then this needs to be async, doesn't it? Get product by ID, and then pass it the item.id, right? And then return ... products, and then amount as item.amount, right? I think technically works, maybe, kind of. I don't know why this is giving me an error. Is declared, but its value's never read. So this is a promise. Okay, so I need to figure out how to do that. Yeah, so this is... It doesn't give me issue with this, does it? Huh. This is very expensive because then I'm running queries for, you know, every single inventory item, which is not ideal. Because either way I spin this, I could just decide to not include all the products here, but then I would need another page to add products, right? So it's not really gonna, it doesn't matter how I approach this. I do have another idea, actually. Maybe I could do a nested loop inside of the view. And that wouldn't really be JavaScript. So I'm just kind of bouncing around in my head here. So let's just keep this as it was. So I'm gonna like kind of just comment this out just so that we have it. And then just do this. Wait. And then I don't need it to be the product inventory type. I can just keep it as the inventory type for now. Yeah, so that's fine. Okay, it needs to be. Okay. I know commenting code is not advisable, but you know, it's just because I want to save it temporarily while I think this through. And then I can give it inventory. Okay. And then what I can do here is I can essentially do a conditional render. So I can say each item in inventory. This is going to be kind of expensive, but there's no other way I can really see to do this. And then I can do an if here. But now the problem with this is don't want it to render. Can we even have variables? I don't think so. So let's go to conditionals here. User.description. Because then essentially we can do is we say if like product.id matches, although I don't know how to, can you check equality in Pug? Let's see, Pug, check equality. And you see that this is, you know, asked 13 years ago. So this is a pretty old, language. Or well, it's not really even a language. I think YT changed their UX slightly and it's annoying me. Oh, damn, really? Like for streams? Okay, so I'll try this. Something like this though, right? And then so if it's in the inventory, then we want to render it as in the inventory. But then each item in inventory, of course it'll be in the inventory because otherwise it'll, okay, so if the product ID is the item ID, unless I want to actually have, yeah, see this is too complicated logic, I think, because then I might want to actually iterate through these in a different order. Bro, I've heard from my friend that there's zero placement for devs. Well, I think your friend is a little misguided. I think there is. It's just, you know, it's a different world, right? Yeah, hold on. Let me post it in stream chat. Okay, I'll take a look at that. Let me see. Oh, ew. Why is it like, why are the videos below? I thought the videos would be on the side, no? That's weird. Interesting. Huh. Yeah, I don't know about that. That's odd, to say the least. Okay, I don't know Yeah, I don't know. I'm kind of waffling back and forth. All right, let's try and, okay, you know what? Let's just go back to the old approach. And this is what real coding is. Like, it's a lot of like thinking through something, you know, exploring it a little bit and then retreating, exploring this idea, retreating. That's just kind of the nature of these things, right? Especially when you're doing it like off the cuff. Yeah, they're normally on the side. Yeah, that's what I thought. That's stupid. I'm doing all right, Prathme. How are you? Every teacher in India telling us AI will replace most freshers' job. Go for web devs. Yeah, but I think they're gonna those companies though, Varun, are gonna find out real quick that AI is not really scalable in a you know, useful way. How's it going, Halid? So yeah, maybe I do something like this again, but I need to come up with some sort of like, maybe I can come up with some sort of type that just includes like the product ID, the because I need to have a unified type here. So essentially, what I can do is it just needs to have the product ID, maybe the name, the ID, the name, the category, and the amount. Right, and then the amount may or may not be defined. I'm great, man. Woke up like an hour ago, 5 a.m. in here right now. That's awesome. What do you think about data science and application with AI ML? I think there's a lot to be explored in that area, honestly. I think AI is being overused in software development and underused in some other. Well, maybe not underused, but I think the potential for AI and things like data science is there. You just have to be careful with it. Yeah, maybe it'll replace front end devs and designers to some degree. I agree, Tyler. And even then, it would be like a shitty consultant, right? Yeah, I think, because again, it's like, okay, you can get AI to make a design, but like you still have to like, you know, tweak it and stuff, right? There still has to be some human being behind the curtain that knows what they're doing, like from a design perspective, because AI isn't conscious. AI does not understand what human needs, right? So I think we should actually probably amend this product inventory type, a little bit. So let's say it has an ID. Whoa, that's not what I want to do. A name, not a description, a category ID. Although the other problem with the category ID is how are we going to get the category ID from the inventory entry, right? So that's the one tricky bit, I think. So if we're adding something to the inventory, yeah, I don't know how I'm going to do that exactly. But we can, you know, figure it out. Okay, so I think these are good. So I have some sort of combined type here, so that we can kind of consolidate this in a nice way. AI is not a pattern creator; it's a pattern matcher. It sucks at novelty concepts. Exactly. If you have to create something new with AI, good luck. Yeah, it's not even gonna be new. It's just a mishmash of things that already exist, right? In actually some kind of non-deterministic, almost random sense, because it is probabilistic, right? AI is a probabilistic engine. I have learned C++, but now my whole course is strongly concentrated for Python. That makes, I mean, it depends on what you're doing, Varen. Like, honestly, like Python versus C++, like it honestly depends what you're doing. You know, there has different applications, right? Okay, so now what we need to do is I'm debating whether for the ease of this, I wonder whether I modify this to store the category so that we can then eventually filter by category for updating the inventory. Because we update the inventory, I want the ability to filter by category, right? You can say, you know, filter by category, and then see there's like a little drop down, right? And then it only shows results that are in a, you know, a certain category or something like this, right? I don't know. Data science jobs strongly rely on Python. Yeah, exactly. I suppose almost anything can be probabilistic if you throw enough compute at it. Yeah. That's why the whole course is moving around Python. Yeah, I think because the data science world is very centered around Python. The reason teachers in India say this is because most of the jobs We're just about minor changes. Hey, Paul, you do exactly. Prathme is actually making a really good point. I think if you're a very non-creative programmatic dev who doesn't have a lot of innovation or problem-solving ability, you're right. AI might have a place to replace you, but if you're shown to solve versatile problems, come up with novel solutions that are, nuanced and dedicated to the project at hand, I think there's a lot of value in that still, right? I think you hit the nail on the head, Prathme. I think you're exactly right. So anyway, I don't know. I'm kind of lost in this inventory nonsense here. So I think, because yeah, I would like to filter by category ID at some point, and then maybe like have an ability to like link to each of these product pages or something. I don't know. My friend telling me to learn C++ and JavaScript and Lua. I mean, I don't know if I'd listen to your friend. That's quite the different. Why the hell would you learn Lua after C++? That to me does not make any sense. Unless you want to be a Roblox developer. I don't know. I've never really used Lua before, but I know it's useful. I know it's used in a lot of those kinds of applications, right? So this is bad. I don't like this. Because then this is async await as well, which is not good. Actually, I have an idea. We don't even need this. So we have all the products, and then we can get the inventory. Okay. And then the store.id. Okay. And then what we can do is we can have some sort of helper function. Here, so I can actually probably put this in a util. Something like inventory filter. So like const. Okay, and then I'm gonna say it's gonna take in three values. So it's gonna be all products as a product type. Whoops. And then it's gonna take in inventory. Or just inventory as an inventory type. An array of inventory types. And then essentially what it's going to do is we're going to return list of two lists in inventory, not in inventory. And then both of type product inventory type, right? So that's essentially what this is going to do. It's just going to be a helper utility function. Lua and C++ are often used together. Interesting. I did not know that, actually, Tyler. Best way to go about this is to have something way more innovative and creative than what AI has to offer. Exactly. Yeah, and I mean, that's fair enough. Like, if he's really going to hire you, but I don't know. Okay. So, let's think about this. We want to iterate through all the products, right? So, we're going to say all products got for each product. And then we have to have a way. So, step one is check if product is in inventory. Step two, and then actually we're going to need a step 2a. Step 2a, if is in inventory, add to in inventory list. Actually, wait, no. Before I do this, step 1 is going to be construct product with product data and no quantity of 0, okay, to start. Although I don't think, yeah, so basically here we can have inventory items or entries with a 0 amount. Okay, so that's good. So step 2 is check if product is in inventory, and then if it is, I'm going to say like step 3a, if it is, add product inventory to in inventory list. And then step 3b, if not, add product inventory to not in inventory, right? And then the other thing we have to do here is also update amount of product inventory. So we essentially need a way of, for doing this, we basically need to have a way of doing this check. I think this is going to be the hardest part, all right? So it's kind of the idea, I think. Yo, Jay, how's it going? He's making 2K plus a month, and he's my friend for the last 8 months, but how good will your future be? I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. It honestly depends on you just as much as the state of the world. Actually, it depends on you a hell of a lot more than the state of AI. If you work hard and you try and you know, show off your skills, people will recognize that, regardless of the state of AI. Okay, so let's say const product inventory item or something. Or just inventory item. Or product inventory item. I don't fucking know all this. And then we'll basically say product, as product inventory type. And then so it has, what does it have, right? It has the ID as product.id. It has the name as product name. It has the category ID of product.category ID. And then it has the amount, which we'll set to 0 to start, right? So there's constructing that. So then now the next step is to check if product is in inventory, right? So this is going to be, I think, the trickiest part, because then we have to maybe have a helper function that loops through the inventory, right? So we're going to say we can have another helper function down here. So we can say const product in inventory, and then product ID as a string, and then or actually as a product type of type ID, and then a inventory as inventory type. This is kind of superfluous, but this is going to be our helper function. Okay. And then essentially what this is going to return true or false, right? So we're going to loop through inventory. So we're going to say inventory dot for each item. And then we're going to say if, we're just going to actually say if product ID is equal to item.id, product ID, I should say, then return true. Actually, because this is only going to return from this sub function, right? And then we'll say const. Actually, we'll just say return. We can return this whole thing, can we not? I have an idea here. Because this will either be true or false, right? But I don't know how to actually go through and return false at the end of this. Because this may not. Okay, so let me go through this again. Let's think about how to do this. So we return true, but it's only returning from this sub function, right? So maybe we want to just have some sort of Boolean variable like in inventory. Oh wait, this is not a const, let. And then just some bullshit like return in inventory. It's probably a better way of doing this. And then we probably want to, break out of this. Break out of this loop, right? After this. Cross function boundary. Oh yeah, because this is a for each. It's not really a loop in the same sense. So we might want to actually do it like this. Let's just do a traditional for loop. That's easier. So we'll just say for item in inventory. For all. Let item. There we go. And then we'll say, yeah, if product ID, the same idea. I don't know why I forget regular for loops exist. I don't have to do it always functional. It's because I'm JavaScript brained. Right? That's it. That's all we need. Product ID. Whoops. Oh, product. Wait, why can't I type annotate this? I think accent is important for interview. It depends where you're interviewing, I think, probably. Why is this a string? Oh, or is it let item of? That's what it is. It's of. When you're iterating over a list of objects, you have to do of, right? There we go. That's a JavaScript, another bullshittery thing of JavaScript. There we go. So now what we can do is we can say if product in inventory, product.id, and the inventory, right? Then we handle the cases here, right? When did I start my journey of coding? So my journey of coding started 2 years ago in a serious manner. Actually, we're approaching 3 years now. So I started to learn how to code generally, like for real, like 3 years ago. As a part of school. But this specific web dev journey has been 98 days. So 98 days, but I started at the end of January of this year. So like almost 5 months, coming up on 5 months. Okay. So then we'll add it. So we'll say, and then we should actually define those up here. So we should say in inventory, or const, I should say, const in inventory as a in product inventory type is just an empty list, and then we'll duplicate this not in inventory. And then basically we're just going to get two sets that add up to all products, right? That have the same type. So we're just going to say, actually, I don't know. So we can just do this like this. In inventory dot push product inventory item. Otherwise, not in inventory dot push product inventory item. Then we can return that as an object. Right? Why does this not work? Wait. No value exists in scope. Oh, right, because these are not in the fucking... These need to be declared up here. My bad. There we go. That's better. I couldn't see what level I was in. There we go. You're a beginner and you're already suffering from overload. My mind say for you to just put in effort, but it's a big mountain. Yeah, it's you're trying to do the same. Any tips on being consistent? Cahill, honestly, okay, I'll address your question in a second, Varun. But this kind of goes, you know, this actually can kind of answer both of your questions. The trick to being consistent is to just show up every single day. Well, not even every single day. Just show up regularly. Don't take long extended breaks unless you absolutely have to because of a lifestyle change. Like for instance, I moved recently and I took a week off, almost, right? Actually, no, it was a week. So unless there's something like that where you have to take a lot of time off, don't take more than a day or two off in a row, right? Show up every single day, you know, or most days, right? And even just put in a little bit of progress. Doesn't matter how much, right? 30 minutes, 15 minutes even. Just make some progress towards your goal. And I think, Varen, like, part of it is you're thinking about the whole journey when really all you should be thinking about is the next task at hand, right? Narrow what you think about. So if you're, you know, in class and you're doing an assignment or something, think about the next problem on the assignment that you're doing, right? Don't think about where you're going to be in a month or in 3 months. Just let the journey see itself out, right? Like, for instance, right now, the only thing I'm thinking about, and I've been thinking about for the last hour on stream, is this, right? This inventory problem for the inventory editor, right? To basically split up the inventory so that I can have products that are in the inventory and products that are not in the inventory. So that I can give that to my view so that I can render it properly and so the user can modify, you know, modify their inventory, right? That's all I've been focusing on. And I'm just going to remove these because I don't really think I need them anymore. So... I actually think for this for each, I might need to actually return this, right? Unless this can just be a void function. Actually, I don't think I need. I think this is fine. True. Looking at it, the whole thing is just draining me. Thank you for the advice. I'll try to apply it. Not learn something different, but yeah, it works. Yeah. Yeah. Again, that's what's helped me. And the other thing that's helped me that I probably wouldn't recommend to most people, but it's worked for me, is the streaming. That's why I started streaming, because I wanted to hold myself accountable, right? You know, I was terrified, like for the first, like, I don't know, probably like month, honestly, or even more than that. I was like afraid of showing people my code, right? And doing this stuff live. I was afraid of it. I didn't want people to see like how shitty I was, right? And I'm still shitty, kind of, right? Like I still feel like I'm shitty at programming, right? You just have to like do it, you know? And then you have wins as well live that are cool. It's like, oh, I came up with a solution to this problem, right? or whatever. So that's the other thing that has helped me personally. So I mean, I don't know. Take that for what you will. If you want to start streaming, you can copy the formula that and I wouldn't even say mine's original. You know, I saw other people streaming their coding journeys on YouTube, and that's kind of what motivated me to get started. You know, there is no like right way to do it. You just get like Streamlabs or OBS and record your stream or screen and just like do it. You know, you don't even need to have your voice and your face on there. Like you can just do it completely anonymously with no face cam, nothing. I just wanted to show my face because I wanted to turn this into something, and I wanted to show people, you know, I wanted to talk with people and meet people online and stuff like this. But you don't necessarily have to hold yourself accountable. Even just having that, right? It's like writing a journal, right? It's like it holds yourself accountable. And it's like a record, and then you have a record of your progress, right? Like I've got those like however many hours I have already recorded on my stream or on my YouTube channel. I have like probably like 250 hours worth of, probably more than that actually at this point. It's probably like 275 hours on average, I would say, if I had to guess, worth of programming live and chatting to chat. So I don't know. That's kind of my little rant about that, I guess. All right, let's get started. So I think this utility is done, actually. So I think we can actually go back to this, to here, and then essentially what we can do is we can pass in two objects. So we can have basically like in inventory and not in inventory, right? So we can run the utility function first of all. And we need to delete this. And then we're going to need to modify our view as well. The view is going to be wrong here. So we're going to say const in inventory and a not in inventory is equal to inventory filter for all products and the inventory, right? So we actually need to get that inventory as well. There we go. And then we can pass that into there and then update our view. Appreciate it. Oh, keep going, bro. Thanks. I recall important from you. Well, thank you, Vern. I appreciate it. Okay. So now what I'm going to do, this is going to give me an error. I think actually it's not even going to give me an error, right? So we're going to essentially have two loops, which are going to be basically the same thing, where we're going to do so we're going to loop through both of these. So we're going to say each product in, or I should say each item maybe. Item in inventory. And then this is just going to be the same idea. I don't even know if I need the text here. I might just I need to have conditional text based on the truth of this, right? I don't know if I need to have this be as a string, but for the products in inventory, we want to keep them checked, right? Because they're in the inventory. And the value here is going to be item.amount. Right? I think. And then we could even do the category as well. Ooh, you know what? We don't have the category name, we have the category ID, which actually I don't really want. I want the category name inside of this, right? So what we can do is, obviously this is going to be wrong. So we'll say category name is wait, does the product have? No, I don't think so. I think then we can use our categories. Categories dot get name by ID. And then we can import this, right? Cool. We can use our other utility function. So just modifying that schema because we're going to want the name of the category rather than the ID. Unless we want both, I don't know. Something like this, right? And then otherwise, we need to go through the list of items not in inventory, right? And then this is basically going to be the same idea. Except the checked is going to be false and the value is going to be 1. So now, that should be everything we need. Because we have each item in the inventory and then each item not in the inventory, right? So I think that's good. And then we built that utility. And then, I mean, all things considered, the code isn't terrible. I don't know. It's not ideal, but it's not great. Okay, so then we can go back here. Okay, so everything's checked, which is not what we want. Although it's showing the amounts to be correct. Although no, it isn't, because it's actually showing them to be 0 when they should be 1, right? Value equals item dot amount. It's not really good. Oh, I know why. Because inside of the filter, we're not setting the amount here, which we need to do. Oh, and then you know what we can do here is we either return the amount or we return null. That's what we could do. Actually, I'll just say, let's return 0 actually, and then just have it be a number. And then we can keep the same truthy falsy thing. And then what we can do is we can actually return the amount. So we can say item.amount. Whoops. And then we can actually get the amount from this, right? So you know what I can actually do? I can be clever about this. I can say product inventory item dot amount equals product in inventory. And then I can say, and then I can basically add based on the amount. So I can say if products inventory dot amount, then in inventory dot push else not in inventory dot push, right? I think if we're out of sleep, what should I do now? What does that even mean? I'm sorry, I missed the message that was redacted. Or retracted, I should say, not redacted. Let me see if I can see it on my preview. I think how to sleep. Oh. You said I think how to, I see, okay. All right, so this is better. I think this is good. Little cheeky refactor here. Okay, so now the amounts are not, they're all one, so it's kind of hard to tell that the amount is being put in correctly. I probably should have made that different, but it is what it is. I can actually probably alter the table, right? Or I can even insert a value or something like that. I don't know. Having these all be one was kind of a bad idea. But I trust that this works now. Because if I do this, let's just temporarily do this to 0, then these two should be 0, right? Yeah, perfect. So it does actually indeed work. Okay. All right. So the only problem is now is the checkbox, which I wonder if it is because we don't put this in brackets or in quotes. Or if I don't include check, or unless the inclusion of checked is actually part of the problem. So what if I just did this? There we go. Perfect. People who are not able to sleep means they want to put effort every time. So I guess you are on a good path. I mean, it's not nighttime here, man. I mean, it is. It's the evening, but it's not sleep time yet. It's only 8:14 in the evening, my friend. I usually go to bed around 11:30, midnight. So not sure what you're on about, my friend. Okay. So this is good. Now we actually need to submit this, right? So this inventory getter is done. So now we can actually write the post. Or sorry, this was it. Here. So we can actually write the post for the save inventory, right? So we can actually start doing that. So I'm actually going to write, do a commit here, and I'm going to say add update inventory view contains helper function lists all products and populates form according to if item is in inventory in a store's inventory or not. And then I'm going to say includes helper function for this, or utility function, I should say. And then I'm going to say has appropriate middleware function to render view the view itself and routing and route, I should say. Okay, that's good enough. I don't know how to really do commit messages properly. I'm just kind of guessing. Okay, that's good. You're from India at 6 a.m. Yeah, I do know. I'm. That's fair. I'm from Canada, my friend. So I'm. It's a different time here. Okay. Okay. So I think we can actually start now with the update inventory post, right? So I'm just gonna write that function. Okay. So I'm just going to leave the function blank for now. Actually, I'll put in the try catch. Okay. So now we have to post this. But I need to write the queries first. Maybe put a break here as well. So that there's kind of a... Okay. So where are the queries? Here are the queries. So I think I'm going to do this. I kind of mentioned how I was going to do this before. Or I'm going to say not update, sorry, post. So essentially, we're going to, this is probably not the best approach, but the idea is I'm going to select all the rows. And actually, I'm going to delete all of the entries. So I'm going to delete existing, whoops. Place with new entries from form, from update view or something like that. So I'm going to say store ID and then new inventory, which is actually going to be an item. What data type is this going to be? Inventory type, right? As an array. And then, so the middleware will actually construct this. So the middleware will construct this new inventory, right? Okay. So it's kind of like, these are the two things that we're going to do here. How much progressed? Is it reset? What do you mean? The timer? Cache? The timer is reset every 25 minutes. So if that's what you're referring to, I think it's what you're referring to. So the idea is that I work for 25 minutes and then I take a 5-minute break and then I take another 25 minutes. So then I repeat that 5 times. So the timer is just for like an individual working session. I think that's what you're referring to. Okay. Oh, the post store inventory? I don't know. What do you mean it's progressed? Oh, did you come back? So basically right now what we're doing is we're writing the post route, or the post method route, whatever, or the query, I guess, for updating the inventory, right? So this is probably not super what's it called, like efficient, right? Or delete from inventory where store ID is 1 and then include the store ID, right? Actually, I could probably just do all this on one line, right? That's fine. Okay, so there we go. So we delete everything, and then we replace it with the values, right? So we'll say await db.query. Now, how did we do this before? So I need to go into my other code because I created a copy of that, right? In here. Created a copy of what we did last time. And I want to kind of see what I did for the queries. That's the router. Okay, so this was the old one. So what did we do here? Ah, so we did something like this, right? And then I think this actually did work. So we want something like this. That is why you save other things. So this is actually what we want, right? But instead of that, it's going to be new inventory. Item. Oh, but then we need all this info, right? So we need store ID. So it'd be item.id. Product ID. Item.product ID. Item.store ID. Item.amount. Actually, it's going to be item everything. Item.amount. Item.name. And then item. Or wait, what? Hold on. Item.product name and then item.store name. And then new inventory dot length. And then this should now work, I think. Cool. Why delete and add rows? It's just an easier way of doing it, Akash, I think. It's a more naive approach. It's not as complicated as you know, trying to filter through it and modify values. Because if you just delete everything and then refresh everything, then you don't have to like go in and alter values, right? Your typing speed decreased by 4 times because you moved from laptop keypad to physical keypad. What do you mean by physical keypad? Like a keyboard? Okay, so that's good. We have this query now. So now I need to write the middleware, right? So here's our middleware. So essentially what we need to do is we need to construct this new inventory list. Actually, I should probably go into the queries as well. Basically, we need to construct this new inventory list inside of the middleware, right? From the rec body. So yeah, we need to do this code again. Very similar. There's a lot of copy paste code. I don't really like it, but you know, it is what it is. I don't think actually, does it need to take in a store? Yeah, it does. Okay. Okay, so we get our store. Yeah, I don't like how this is all copy pasted and everything. This logic, I wish there was a way to abstract this logic, but I don't think there is easily. Because then if I ever want to change how this works, then it's going to be a pain in the ass to have to update every single middleware, right? So I might just do like a to-do here. Refactor middlewares to remove repeated store fetching code or something like this, right? Something like this. I don't know, I'll just put it there. Keyboard. Well, I think it's just, you just gotta practice, man. As with anything else, I think it's just about practice and typing. Like my day job is in front of the computer all day, so I do a lot of typing. So I mean, I'm not, you know, I still wouldn't say I'm like a super fast typer, but you know. So okay, so basically what we're doing is we're getting rec.body, right? which is full of, let's go to the view. So it's going to be full of items that contain an item ID in inventory. So essentially what we're going to have to do then is we're going to have to go through all the products, right? We're going to have to do the same query again. Get all products. Then we're going to have to do for let products in of all products. Okay. I'm going to do it like this instead of as a for each because I think it makes more sense. And then what we're going to do is we're going to see whether the rec body is a thing. So I did have a way of doing this. I think we did this last time. Controllers, stores, controllers. So how do we handle this? Yeah, so this is essentially what we did. We did something like this, right? Yesterday. Or not yesterday, 2 days ago. So we want something like this. Problem is, though, is we need to get the category. Okay, so basically what we need to do is we need to construct something like this, right? And so we'll push it. We'll push it based on this. Okay, so let's take another 5-minute break. I'm just going to write a comment here. Construct new inventory list based on view or something. You'll be here, but I'm more active on online study group, together group as I have many people who are in the same goal as you. That's good. That's good. It's good to be active in study groups, I think. I think study groups are really helpful. You know, I utilized them when I was in my program. I think having other people that are facing similar problems as you is really important. So. Made out Discord having study group, but you have to invest time to find those because people are random. Yeah, that's fair. I mean, I also, if it interests you, I have a Discord that you can join. I mean, you know, you can ask questions there, and someone from my community will probably get back to you if you have a question related to coding or something like that. So you can you know, use that if you'd like, but you don't have to join. It's completely optional. But anyway. Everywhere they say use AI, and if you don't use AI in your work, you're far behind. That's what Jensen Huang said. What do you think about this matter? Well, I think Jensen Huang is has different priorities than me, right? I think a lot of these guys have different priorities. Their priorities are to maximize shareholder value and as much return on investment as possible. Where what I value is learning how to code and be a good software developer. That's what I value. His value and my values are different. What we're doing is coding up everything. But does he have any meeting? What's the future be like? I mean, no one can predict the future. I'll join, but not as I expect help from others. I mean, you could also help other people too for practice. Like if someone else has a question, you can answer them or something. So, but yeah, it's totally up to you. We also talk about, non-coding related stuff and just, we hang out. Got over 170 members. Expert learner, how's it going? Welcome. So, yeah. I don't know. And then after this, what do I have to do? I have to have a way of deleting or renaming products, right? Like editing them based on their ID and stuff like that. So that's the next step after we finish the inventory stuff. Which is honestly not really, I don't know. I'm kind of getting sick of this project a little bit, but we're almost there. I think probably, if I had to guess, optimistically, by the end of next stream, we'll be done. Hopefully, that's my goal. I want to, by day 100, I want to move on. So, I want to put this behind me because I think I've been doing this inventory for like how many days now? Probably like 3 or 4 at least. So that's just the nature of how these things go, right? Some projects take longer than others. So it is what it is, I guess. All right, let's get back to it here. Let's do another 25 minutes. Okay, so I need to push this data. So what I need to do is I need to get, so this doesn't match. So I need to do in inventory. And then this is dash amount, I think. And then so we need to say, so that we have product ID is product.id. Then store ID is just store ID, which is at the, or I guess store.id. And then the amount is there, and then the product name is product.name. And then store name is store.name. I think, right? Need 1 year if I expect to help someone. Question I have asked you, unique for your face, same questions every day. I don't know. I think the questions, some of the questions you've asked, I've answered before, but I don't know. I answer a lot of the same questions though. Usually it's like, how did you start? How long you've been coding for? Blah, 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 blah. How, why don't you use AI? Those are very common ones. Like I actually have an FAQ for questions that I guess get asked every, pretty often. So you can read that there at that link as well, if that interests you. At least it should post. There we go. So we construct this, and then now what I just have to do is I have to basically what? I just need to run that function, right? So I just need to say await, yeah, what was the function from the query? What was the query? Post store inventory, right? And then so we have the store.id, and then we have the new inventory, which we constructed in this little for loop here, right? What's the problem? How am I in post store inventory? Oh wait, did I not export it? Oh, because maybe did I not save this? Post store inventory. Oh, I didn't import it. That would be the problem. Okay. post store inventory, and then res.redirect back to the store page, which is stores store.id, right? So good. I think that's all I need. And then now, oh, actually, wait, I need to hook it up to the router, don't I? So stores router.posts ID update inventory, and then the handler stores update inventory posts. So now I've hooked it up to the router. So now everything should be done, and this theoretically should work. Okay. So we've got our main page for our store. Let's go to update inventory, and then let's like add a couple bananas, and then maybe remove the avocado. Column undefined does not exist. Interesting. Why is that true? Let me see. It's probably, let's see. Undefined. Defined. So it's the problem with the insertion. So let's see what the inventory table looks like. So there's nothing in it. So the updater didn't work. So okay, whoa, why did I do that? Okay. So essentially, if we go to our query, this part of our query worked just fine because it removed everything from the inventory. However, it did not insert the values incorrectly. The product ID, the store ID, the amount, the product name, and the store name. But there were some null values somewhere, right? So this is impossible to see. So we have values here. So we have banana. Oh, so undefined amount. So I wonder if that's the problem. So if we go over to the amount, so it's dash amount is the ID of this. Oh, because it doesn't have a name. We had this problem last time. We had this issue last time. And this is my fault. So we have this name, and then this needs a name too. Oops. Okay. It didn't have a name, so that's the problem because it's not actually coming up in the rec body, right? So that's the issue. So there's no name here. So that's the problem. So now that it has a name, it should actually, if we go back to this, that should still work. Maybe. Okay, so there's nothing in there. Let's just add a banana. Duplicate key value. I wonder. We just refresh the server. Let's just go to stores all. And then let's go to let's see what's inside of the inventory right now, because there's still nothing in the inventory, right? So view inventory, update inventory, banana, save. Okay, so there's a duplicate key value, violates unique constraint. So what is it trying to add then? Insert into inventory, values, banana, banana 1, banana 1, banana 1. Okay, so it's trying to insert a bunch of the duplicates, right? So why is it doing that? That's the real question. Why is it trying to insert select product? Oh, because I have the same name here. Oh, because I'm doing this. I don't need to do this. Why am I doing a 4 each, a 4 and a 4 each? That was dumb because I just lifted and shifted that code. This maybe now should work. It was double duplicate. That's the problem. Okay. Let's just kill the server and rerun it again. Let's try this one more time. Okay, so update inventory, save. There's our banana. Okay, perfect. and then it added perfectly. Okay, so let's update. So we see now the banana it shows in our inventory. Let's increase the number of bananas to like, I don't know, 8 bananas. Let's add a MacBook. Let's give ourselves a couple MacBooks, and we'll give ourselves an apple as well. We'll give ourselves 4 apples. There we go. The inventory updated. And now let's test deletion. So if we go to update inventory and we remove the banana and we remove the apple, we should only see the MacBook. There it is. And then we go back here, and then we see the MacBook Pro is in our inventory, and then not in inventory are banana, avocado, apple, and bananas. Perfect. Wonderful. Okay, so now the only thing I need to do is I should probably have a label or something, like some sort of heading. Items not in inventory. Or not equals, sorry. Something like this. And then items, or wait, H2 items in inventory. So you can see items in inventory and then items not in inventory, right? Now we can add all these, right? And then if we go back and we see the item not in inventory is MacBook, and then perfect, cool. That works exactly how I wanted it to. Nice. However, the only problem with this is this on click is not triggering for some reason, and I don't actually know why that's happening, or not happening, I should say. I wonder if it's because, like, what did we do in the other one that caused that? So our little verifier here is not, our little confirmation logic is not working. So that's interesting. And then now if we obviously query the inventory that we see our 4 items, which is exactly what we wanted. Where was the other place that I had that? I think it was products ID, right? Are you sure you want to delete? What am I missing here? Are you sure you want to keep these changes? Because there's no closing quote here. So I think now this should probably work. So if we go to update inventory and then like we do that there. Okay. So yeah, I don't know how to like detect whether or not something's been changed. I don't know. And then like do a conditional confirm. Because if we don't change anything, we don't really want to prompt the user. But that's like a small issue. So now we can update, Walmart's inventory. Walmart has some food, maybe some Band-Aids, just give these like random values. Say like 9 apples, and we save it, and we're sure. And there we go. We can update the inventory. Very good. We also return to store page too instead of saving. So if we make changes here and then we just return to store page, that does nothing, right? So we probably should have another confirm for this. That it says like changes may have been made. Are you sure you want to return? Because then it will remove the changes, obviously, right? So that's like another small thing. But that's it. That's the functionality. So I mean, now I think the big thing that we have to do now is make this editable, right? So when we're on a product page, we should be able to update the product credential or the description category, whatever it is, right? So in this add new product, we should probably have some sort of very similar looking form, or like we should have a link that says like edit this product or something. So that I think is next on the list, right? So let's just see what I have on the Obsidian. So refactor, add inventory to update inventory. That looks good. Add a data validation for store names. Oh yeah, and then search for products and store inventory, remove products. I'm just gonna say edit. Edit for okay. So let's do this for the product first. So we're gonna have a very similar form as this. It's essentially gonna be the same thing. Products ID update. We're gonna basically just duplicate it. We could probably refactor this one to utilize the same or wait, no, not this. Products new. We could probably rejig this to use the same, to be usable for updating and creating a new project or project. Do I really want to worry about that? No, because it's a different action. So I might just I'll just do the lazy method and just duplicate this. Although I need to actually now commit this, right? So we'll say add query works by wiping all inventory. And then what else do I do? Connect to router. Something like this. What happened here? Changes. Did I not push? I don't know why there's two of these. I don't know why there are two. Very strange. But anyway. Okay. Now let's make this updatable. So we want to have another link on here. So this would be update. So instead of products, it would be products ID and then update or something. Right? So let's add that to this details page. So it's the delete this product as a form, and then we'll add another goes to /products/products.id /update update details, products details, right? Now we have another link to that new route. And don't worry, I'm going to restyle everything later, probably. Not to make it super pretty, but, you know. So then we'll be taken to another form. So I'm going to basically copy this. Actually, I do need to include the right middleware for that, don't I? But I'll make the form first. So let's duplicate this and then rename it to products ID update or something. Update. It's gonna be basically the same idea. It's gonna be products ID. And then methods posts, product name, and then the value is products dot name, and then just the same deal. And then value is, oh wait, this is, category select we can keep the same. Although actually we can, yeah, value is product.category. I think it's that, right? Category ID, yeah, perfect. Value is product.category ID. And then I'm gonna say update products. And of course the ID doesn't change, so we can essentially update the data by the ID. Okay, so this is good. So now this form should look proper, maybe. And then I just need to obviously create the middleware for that. Right, so we got to do the middleware for that, which would be inside of here. So it would be const products ID update get I don't like how much code there is in here, but it is what it is. Okay. And then do a try catch. I don't think we're actually going to be fetching anything, though. Am I? Get product by I. Okay, so that's what we're going to do. So we're going to say const ID rec.params const product is await get product by ID string of ID, right? And then we're going to res.render that sucker. Products ID update. And then we're going to give it a title. Update product details. And then products is going to be categories. Wait, where am I including categories here? Products new, get, category list. Is there anything that I need? Each val and categories, I don't think so. I think I can just do products. And then categories dot all. Right? I think so. So then that from our utility function returns the list, right? So that's fine. Nice. Okay. Now we should, when we click this, we should get a oh, because we don't have the router hooked up yet. Forgot to do the router. I always forget to do that. actually. Okay, so we need to do that. Oops. Now it should work. Cool. All right, so we get this form, then we can update the product, and then we should probably also have a go back button, which is going to be an href go back to products page. Something like changes will be lost. And then just back to something like this, right? Okay. Cool. I'll add a break here just for some spacing for now. And then basically now we can do the post. We can do the post. Okay, so then let's do another commit. So we'll say add routes or add get route with add update details get route. What I even say like for this? Product update form. Similar to new product form with minor tweaks. Something like this. I don't know. I don't know why there are two of these now. I don't know what I did. Must have done something. Maybe I opened a repository by accident. I honestly don't know. Okay. Let's take one more break, and then I'm going to do another 25 minutes, and then that will be it for today. And I think in the next 25 minutes, I can create this post request for this updater, right? I'm pretty sure. So yeah, you're going to start by writing the query. That's a lot of what this is, though. This is a very repetitive process. And then so we have that to update the titles and stuff. And then so the only other thing I really want to add after I add the updatable product and store, because I'm going to make the stores updatable as well. On this store page, I'm going to add another like update store, which is basically going to be like just this. But yeah. Oh yeah, just the searchable products. So on the all products list, have the ability to search. Maybe some data validation through Express Validator, and then some styling. And then I think we're good on this one. Oh, and then we need like a, so we have product deleters, right? Delete this product. And then are there ways to delete stores yet? No, so we need a way to delete stores as well. So that's still on the, on the list here. So yeah, I don't know, still a few things to go. But the app is nearly complete. And this should, oh, the product category doesn't populate properly. I just noticed that. The values populate in here, but this doesn't populate properly. That's okay. I can fix that. I can figure that out. So all right. Hope you guys are having a good evening or morning wherever you are, or afternoon. Happy hump day. I don't know. Two days left this week. You know. I have some pretty big life news to share with Discord, probably on, actually definitely on Sunday. It's nothing bad, don't worry. And it won't affect streams at all, but there's going to be something changing a little bit, not with my community necessarily, but just something in my life. It's an exciting change, but I will share that. You know, I kind of want to keep it a secret, so it's a surprise, but something coming for there for that. I'm also working on a video actually. I accidentally leaked the topic of the video at the very beginning of the stream, so if you're keen on seeing that, you can get a little sneak peek at my notes. It was on screen for like half a second. I don't really care. I'm not going to edit it out because the video is going to go out at some point eventually anyway. And you know, you'll see that when that comes out. I can't guarantee when, but I'm hoping like in a week or two, because I have to have time to film it and edit it and finalize a script and stuff like this. But I do have a new video coming, but it's going to be kind of related to my journey thus far. So yeah, I don't know. It's kind of all I got, I guess. Anyway, so I think I'm gonna keep on going another 25 minutes. It's the last 25-minute session for this stream, and yeah, so I'm gonna now do the post for this product updater, right? So let's do that. I need the post middleware, which actually I'm going to start with the queries first, right? So I'm going to say post update products. Updated products is a product type. And then so we are obviously going to have to modify the value, right? So we're going to have to find it. So we have to do, I forget how to alter columns. I forgot the syntax is. Post alter columns values. These would just modify the table, would it not? Let's go down to some examples. So be alter table, alter column. So I would need to select by a certain ID, right? Or is this is altering the table? No, I just need to update the values of it. Change. Modifying tables. So is it still alter tables? I guess it is. So I guess it would be alter. alter table products, alter column, and then it would just kind of be multiple columns, right? So we have alter column, ID name description. So alter column name, and then I think I can add some sort of where clause on that, right? Hey bro, how's it going? Do I have to remove an update? Oh, it's just update. Okay, so it's not alter, it's update. Update products, and then set name equal 1. We'll say description equals 2. And then category ID is 3. Where, actually we'll say name 2, description 3, and then category ID 4, and then where ID is 1, right? And then we have a returning clause is optional, which return a list of all updated rows. And then I can just say returning everything, right? Yo, Gervier. Welcome, welcome. I hope you're doing well, my friend. But not too much, just working on this inventory app still. I'm getting there. I'm just making, I'm adding the ability to update products by, just update product information. So I think this is good. All right, so update product, set name, and then so I need to obviously include, I need to include that data, right? So updated product.id, updated product.name, updated product.description, updated product.category ID, right? Gonna make this not super ugly, so I can actually see what's going on. Actually, you know what? Like, hold on. That's not what I wanted to do. Okay, better. Okay, well, it's going to default to that when I save it. That's fine. And then redirect, right? Oh, wait, but this needs to be try-catch, try-caught, I mean, as well. I gotta have a better way of doing the try-catch shit, man. Shit. Oops. Oh my god. My brain is not working. Try-catch. Okay, and then res.redirect back to, oh wait, no, this is just the query. This is just the query. I'm doing the try-catch layer inside of the middleware. So I actually don't need to do anything else. That's all I need to do. This is just the query. I forgot I'm not in the middleware. I'm losing the plot a little bit. Okay, so let's do now. This is where we do the try-catch, right? Products, ID, update, post. And then so now I can get that query in here. So I can just say Products ID update post. So I need this same code here. And then I think I just like literally await. Oh yeah, I need to actually get the actually I don't need the product, I just need the ID. And then I need to update by the rect.body. So I need to say const new or updated products is a product type. And then that's going to contain the as products. Actually, no, that's fine. So we're going to say we're going to have the ID be the same. The name is going to be rec.body.name. I think, what did I call the name in the view? I don't remember. Product name, product description. Yeah, okay, so product name. Description is rec.body.product description. Category ID. Oh wait, this is actually needs to be as a ID. Category ID is rec.body. What do we return this as? Select category, select name category. Oh, it's just category. Okay. Just this. And then I think it's returning as ID, right? Value is product.category ID, which obviously didn't work. Option maybe? Oh, option value. Oh no. I don't know how to set. Let's do this actually. Let's look this up. Set default option for select HTML. I forget how to do this. Oh, selected. So something like this, then that should work. That should fix our problem. So, although it didn't really seem to do that. Option value, validate. Oh, because the selected is, oh no, wait. Option selected is selected. Oh, that's on the option level. So what I might actually have to do is I might just say if category. I'm gonna say if category dot ID is equal to product dot category ID, then we'll render this as selected, maybe. And then else, like, so if we do conditionals, if else. Then we just render it without the selected, right? This? Maybe? I don't know if this works. Might work. We'll find out. Alright, so we go to avocado. It is now selecting food and grocery. And then if we go to MacBook, electronics, go to Band-Aids, health and wellness, perfect. So let's try and update the product. Let's actually change Apple to Okay, so this is actually going to cause trouble now that I think about it. Because you store the product name and the store name in the inventory, so the inventory is going to have to be updated. So you know what I'll actually do? To avoid having to worry about this. Because the product name is fixed. So you know what? Update product details. Let's only allow editing of the description category and actually just the description category, I think, right? Let's screw the product name. And then in our controller, we just do get the product, right? Oh, because it needs to resolve, right? Okay, so here's our updated product, and then we have to call the query, right? Yeah, so that's my hack. I'm just not going to allow you to change the name of the product. If you want to make a new product, you should just delete and recreate it. That's my hack for that, right? So when we delete a project or product, do we delete, for the queries, do we delete the inventory entries as well? I should also do that. I should also do that. But I should do that in its own. I should do that in its own. Actually no. I'll say delete entries from inventory. So we need to delete the product entries from the inventory, right? Delete entries from products. Delete from inventory where product ID is 1, and then just ID. But we also need to delete from the inventory as well for that one, which is fine. Okay, and then so we basically are awaiting this query, post update products. Need to export that. And then await posts, update product, and then updated products. And then res.redirect to the ID, right? Too much? I don't know. I think that's fine. I don't think it's other. What's that? We've been doing it. Okay. And then so when we delete a product, products ID update posts. Export that. So now when we delete a product, it will remove it from the inventory. I actually haven't tested that functionality. I should probably test that functionality. So that's good. And all right, I guess we're ready to, actually, no, we're not. We need to add to the router. Okay, now we're ready to test. Now we're ready to test. Okay. So. Let's say it's shiny for Apple, and then I'm gonna, that's fine, this is kind of ugly. Let's just change this to like electronics or something. Oh, products, sorry. I have this wrong relation. Update product. Oh, and then this doesn't need to be like this. So we just need to select description 2, 3, and then remove that, so like this. We needed to update that query, okay. So let's update this, let's say shiny, green, and then just change this to anything, it doesn't matter. Perfect. Nice. That worked. Let's try updating the MacBook Pro. Let's say it's an it's an Apple laptop. That's decent. And then we'll change this to personal care because this is part of my, using my MacBook is part of my personal care routine. If we update that, it looks good. And then so if we go back to home, we go to stores. Now if I remove an avocado as an item, it should remove itself from Walmart's inventory and Costco's inventory. So if I go to products and then I go to avocado and delete, update violates foreign key constraint. Oh, because maybe I have to delete the inventory ones first. I didn't think of that actually. Okay, so for this query, I think I actually have to delete from the inventory first, right? So that there's no foreign key constraint. I think. We don't run into that problem. I'm from India and you don't know anything. Give up, dude. Hey dude, someone up on this channel a few days ago, and I just want to say these streams are quite relaxing to watch and learn some things. Keep it up. Wow, the dichotomy in those two comments is crazy. I'm not gonna lie. Okay, so let's try this now. Okay, so it's gone. And then let's see, it's not in Walmart and it's not in Costco. Perfect. You're not from India, by the way. There you go. See? More, well, I will say there are a lot of, I have a lot of fans from India that, you know, like and support me. So it by no means is RAM representative of people from India. So that support me, so, or that watch me, I guess. That's not what I was trying to imply. Yeah. Anyway, you know, this works, I think. So we deleted that, and then we can add a new product. Blueberries. Blueberry. Small blue fruit. Then we go back to home, and then we can update the inventory. There's our blueberry. And we can, you just add some blueberries. There we go. Cool. So that all works, guys. That's pretty much like the main core of it. So now the last thing that I need to do. Oh yeah, I was gonna add the ability to update store information, right? So let's quickly do that. Do I do that this stream or save it? I don't know. I kind of feel done. Although I could probably do it real quick. Let's see. Add, update, products, posts. What did I call this? Added proper query for added query to handle updating products description and category. Elected not to make names changeable, updatable, to allow for updating names due to added complexity that would be introduced with having to rewrite or edit or modify the inventory table. Added middleware and route. Good. Nice. All right, so I think that's it. Do I want to make? I'm debating whether I make whether I speed run the store updating. We can give that a go. Let's do that. Okay, so stores new. Let's duplicate this. And then so we'll say rename. Oh, whoops, that's not what I want to do. Rename to stores update. It's called stores update. And then it's going to go to store. Whoops. Stores ID update. And it's going to be a post and then store name. Update store name or update store. And then I'll probably add an on click. Okay, this is going to be real fast. Oh, I was changing the new. Oops, that's not what I was changing the wrong one here. Stores, store.id, update, and then update store. I'm not going to add a validator because I don't really care, like a little on-click thing here, that's fine. I input product name as store name. Was this wrong here too? Okay, well, I'll update that. Update store. Now, or update store, I should say. Update. Okay, so there's our view. What do we need? Query. So we're going to say get store by ID is fine. Get store inventory, post store inventory, and then we're going to say post store update async store new store is store type. Post store update. Import it. Here it is. Await db.query. And then we're going to do our updater, which is update store. Update store set name is 2, where ID is 1, and then store new store.id, or actually just store. Store.id and then store. What's the problem here? Oh. That's why. Probably put this all in one line, to be honest with you. Set name is 2, where ID is returning. Okay, then I'll just return everything. Hello, I'm lost and looking for activities to get my brain going. Do you suppose doing web dev might be a good pastime? Yeah, I think so. All right, Ruby. So what I would recommend, it depends where you're currently at, but I use the Odin Project, which is a free and open source web dev curriculum that I kind of use as a guide for my videos. So I recommend that as a resource. There's also Free Code Camp. I've got some others here in my bookmarks. Where are they? So there's some that are free, some that are not. There's this front end mentor one. So if you want to do front end specifically, there's some challenges in here that are free. There is Free Code Camp, of course. There's also this Full Stack Open. I haven't used this, but there's this as well for resources. So yeah, you can take a look at those. Also just like Google stuff. I mean, come up with project ideas, something that you think you can do a bit of research. I also recommend if you're doing a project, I usually scope it out in my notes. So like here I've got like, a description of the app that I'm making, and then like a basic schema, and then, some views that I got. Like, so I kind of like plan it out. It's not the best thing, but I don't know. It kind of helps me, I think. I don't know. It kind of helps me think about these things, and actually commit to finishing stuff. Okay, so that's our that's our query. And then our middleware needs to run that query, right? So stores controller. So we need a new stores update posts. Actually, we need an update get first. I can just write both of these. I don't even think I need to try catch this, do I? Anything to read? What do you mean? Oh, like the Odin project has a lot of documentation to read, yeah. It also links to documentation, like whether it's TypeScript or React or whatever it is. So let's just write these two middlewares here. Update get and update posts. Where were they? Here. And I don't think I have any, so I think I can just get the ID from the, yeah, so I need to do the same try catch thing here. Just gonna finish this. So this is bad. I don't like this. Store. Or store. And then res.render. Stores update. Title. Update store. And then just store, I think. What other dependencies were there in here? I don't think anything. Nope. That's good. And then we have our post. Well. And then just wait. What's that query that I just wrote? Post store update. Oh, but then I need to pass it the rec body, right? So I need to do const store. Actually, no. I need to get the ID again. This is fucking. I need to have something better for this. This is bad. This is a bunch of repeated code. But I need to have a handler for this probably. And then I could do const name is is rec.body. Oh, the other thing with the store name is I'm gonna actually need to update the what am I creating? I got you, gadgets. I'm gonna need to update the inventory. I just realized. We need to update the inventory as well because the inventory has store name and store names, right? So I might need to actually include this inside of my side of here. Store ID. I think that's fine too. Update all inventory entries for that store. And then update the store list as well. I'm new here to on the Odin Project. Are you on the Ruby or JavaScript? I'm on the JavaScript path, Victor. I'm more or less a noob. I dabble along the seams of functional languages like Haskell. Nothing just seems to keep my attention. It's not that hard. I just can't latch on. Yeah, I think. Well, that's a completely different thing. Like to do functional programming. Like, I would assume if you've only done functional stuff, you're kind of more of a math person. I could be wrong. But no, I'm just trying to finish this last thing here before I go. Post store update, and then the name. So I can just do this like ID. But yeah, I think Ruby, the most important thing is if you want to kind of you know, stick to something, it's just about you have to, and I'm, you know, I've said this before, is you kind of have to just like force yourself to, and not force yourself like in a bad way. Like if you really don't enjoy doing something, then don't do it. But like if you want to see progress, you're gonna have to like grit through not wanting to do it, right? Like you're gonna have to sit down even when you don't feel like coding and code a little bit and do it. Like I think that's what it is. It's not about, you have to kind of like force it to keep your attention. At least that's how I do it. And then once I get started, you know, that kind of gets me going. And I'm gonna be straight up with you too. One of the main things for me that's actually kept me going is the streaming. I don't know, if it wasn't for the streaming, I don't think I would have gotten this far, nearly this far. So the streaming for me has been a huge help for accountability, like self-accountability. Okay, so this should work now, and then I just redirect to the store page, right? So that's fine. Good. Yeah. Now we should be able to update the name of stores. Is that actually, did I include that in the ID? No, I didn't. I think that was what it was, right? It was /update /update. Okay, and then now I can go to the stores router, and then I can do stores router.get ID /update stores update get stores router, or wait, no, I'm gonna do the post below here. Stores router.post update post. And now that should work. So if we want to update the name of this, oh, in the store value, this should populate with the current name as well. Input type name value is store.name, I think. There we go. And then I'll just call this like supermarket. There, now it's called supermarket. And then our, inventory works and everything. Cool. Then we can change Walmart to Wally World. And it works. Nice. You're right. I do like math, so it helps stick with Haskell. And yeah, I understand sometimes sticking around long enough causes useful accumulation. It's harder without someone to do it with. Yeah, that's exactly why I stream Ruby. Like, honestly, that is exactly why I stream and kind of have this community, because it kind of keeps me motivated and, accountable in much, greater capacity than I would be able to myself. So anyway, all right, I think that's it. I'm just going to commit here. I know that was kind of a long-winded ending. Just to finish that, so I'm just going to say add, get, and post routes for updating store details. Okay, that's barely fits. Okay, includes proper queries along with updating inventory table as well as store table. Include proper, or I should say, as middleware functions, update store update view similar to new store view and routes and routes, I guess, and route in connection to router. Good. Okay. All right, I think that's going to do it for me today. It was kind of a long ending, but I wanted to kind of get that, tied off. So next stream, I'm going to be implementing, so when we're reviewing all these products, like a search feature, so you can search by maybe category or something like that. And also implement a search feature when we're updating the inventory of a store, right? So we can we can filter by category, we can search for a name, something like this. And yeah, and then after that, I'll do some styling, and then that'll probably cap off this project, to be honest. The search is going to be a little weird because I don't know how exactly I'm going to dynamically modify that. But yeah, we'll figure it out. I'll think about an approach, and we'll go from there. So thank you all for watching. I appreciate you watching. If you want to follow more of my journey, I would really appreciate if you subscribed. I'm live around 5 days a week. I have a Discord. You can join the Discord if you want to chat to me or my community. There's over 170 members. If you want to talk programming, web development, motivation, anything really, as long as it's not inappropriate. That's it. I'll see you guys. I'll be live again Friday evening. Join the Discord for stream updates as well. And yeah, that's gonna do it for me.